Good afternoon and welcome to today's Hofstra men's lacrosse postgame press conference with head coach Seth Tierney. Coach, give us your thoughts following today's game against Navy.
Yeah, I'm awfully proud of the guys. I think any coach that would be sitting up here, that lost a game like that, it was not due to effort. It was due to one play, and I don't know what play it was because there's several of them. But the resilience that we've shown to fight through some adversity that we've had, and for us to go 15 rounds with a pretty good lacrosse team. I'm awfully proud of our guys. I love those guys upstairs.
Questions?
Coach, just what are some positives you can take away from this game? Obviously, you guys had a big comeback in the end, much like last week. Just what are some things you can take away from this game?
Yeah, the resilience of being down twice by multiple goals and fighting back, throwing in a face-off guy to change some things up, having a chance a minute to go, and we made a mistake. We threw the ball away. It wasn't the play. It was that we wanted it to happen. We had I think we might have lost this game in the first quarter with when we went down 5-1. We had some silly mistakes. So the positives are, unlike last week, where we really struggled in the first three quarters, there was an unknown factor that we can't just show up. There's nobody that's good enough that just can show up. Today we showed up. We didn't reap the benefits of the W, but I look at these stats: shots, ground balls, face-offs, they're all in our favor, right? So if it's one of those scenarios, we have to stay positive. We have to tighten our belts a little bit tighter, and we have to, as a group, we got to move forward and know that we took a step.
Coach, what's practice going to look like this coming week after today's tough game?
I think it's going to be, similar to last week. As we start to get into this, non-conference part of the schedule, it's trying to spend a certain amount of time on you and a certain amount of time on your opponent. We've got a Big Ten opponent coming up at Michigan, and we know that's going to be a tall task, and we need to prepare for it. So for right now, it is, we got to get a couple guys that were banged up, Lutfi and Rudd, two guys that probably would be starting attackmen. We got to see if we can get those guys back this week. It didn't help having those guys not there. Trevor Natalie got nicked up a little bit, and he's been through some stuff. And we got a couple of defenders that we got to get back. So if we could get healthy and we can get our heads right, I don't think it's going to be, like one of those let's get after in practice. It's let's take that as a little bit of momentum, even though it's an L. We're moving in a good direction.
Despite the loss, Coach, you had a great performance today from Gerard King, 3 goals, 3 assists. What do you make of his performance?
Gerard's a lacrosse player, right? He's a big boy. I think everybody can see that. He cramped up at the end. He's a competitor, and he's a lacrosse player. And he is difficult to cover at times. And when he stays disciplined, he's going to be helpful. And I'm more proud of him for his 3 assists than I am for his 3 goals. And I would like to know how many second assists he had, where he drew a slide and moved it, and then moved it again. That hockey assist, because he probably had a couple of those as well. But Gerard certainly played well, and he's got to hydrate, and we got to get him back.
One major thing in this game was you guys were able to shut down Stoniak, arguably their best player, towards on watch list. What was the key to shutting him down?
One heck of a player. He came in here last year, and he was the code, right? He was just making things happen left and right. And so we knew we had to cheat our feet out to 29. We know that he You know, he can shoot it with either hand. Sometimes he prefers his left, but we had to make sure that we were aware of where he was. And when we didn't know where he was, Mac Gates, our goalie, knew where he was. And so that part of it was there. But, you know, they do a great job. You know, Xavier Arline, the quarterback of the Navy football team, he's quarterbacking a little bit of their offense back there, and he's elusive, and he's one heck of a player in number 24 for Navy. Yes.
Coach, on the mention of Matt Gates, what did you think of his performance today?
Yeah, I think, you know, he had one save in the first half, and, you know, the score was 7, I think, 7-4 at the half, and Mac was steady. There was nothing there, and then you know, certainly in the second half, he comes up with 8 big saves, and sometimes, you know, when you get a guy that's a big, strong athlete that's barreling down at you 10 yards away and about to throw a rubber bullet your way, he just stood there, and he didn't have one hitch, and he just soaked it up. So Mac did a great job in preparing, and he bailed the defense out at times that we needed, and that's going to happen in lacrosse. You know, people have to bail people out. Goalies always bail someone out, ice hockey, soccer, whatever it may be, right? And so, you know, Mac he's about as steady as it goes. And, you know, well, again, we got to regroup here. You have to take losses hard, because that's what makes the wins special. And, but what that team has faced and what they did today, I was hoping that they were going to get rewarded with a win, but we took a great step. Good.
You mentioned that you feel as though you may have lost this game in the first quarter. Is there anything specifically you think could have gone better about the first quarter, and how did you guys rebound after that quarter to make it a close game?
Yeah, I mean, we won the second quarter by a goal, but the first quarter, you know, last week it was, you know, there was some offensive issues. This week, not that there were issues defensively, but we allowed them to do some things that we didn't want them to do. We didn't want them to score an unassisted goal, and they came around and they got 2 of those. There was one that Xavier threw inside, and they had a little bit of a dunk where Mac's not going to have a chance at it, and we should be crashing down, let them throw the ball over the top. You know, that's their game plan. Xavier inside, and then Skolniak up top, right? That's their 3-headed monster of what goes on. And we knew that's really hard to cover because you know, you got to slide to Xavier. And I thought we did a really good job with that. But, you know, there was a turnover and a clear. We weren't top side one time. They went down and scored. They scored in transition a couple, and we said they're going to dodge in that 5-on-5 scenario. And, you know, I'd like to get a couple of those back. But, again, we moved in a good direction. And I can't say it enough, and if our guys watch this, they'll know how much I love them and how much I respect what they've been through and how they responded today. And I would like to just get back to work. I need Monday to come in an hour so we can get back with these guys.
No more questions. This concludes today's post-game press conference. Coach, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.